If you've ever tripped and twisted your ankle, you know exactly what happens next. Almost immediately, you feel a throbbing heat. The skin flushes red and a sudden swelling balloons around the joint. It's easy to look at that puffy red skin and think the swelling is the problem, but the real injury is the tear deep in your tissue. The swelling and heat are just your body's rapid response team jumping into action. This high-speed emergency response, acute inflammation, is actually what keeps you alive. Think of your body like a house. A twisted ankle is a grease fire breaking out in the kitchen. Instantly, a biological alarm goes off, calling in white blood cells. Like firefighters, they rush in to blast the fire and sweep away debris. All that redness and swelling you see on your skin is just the biological version of fire trucks and high-pressure hoses arriving at the scene. Once the fire is out and the area is clean, the immune system packs up and goes home. The swelling fades, the heat disappears, and your house goes back to normal. This short-term system is a miracle of engineering. Without it, even a small paper cut could allow bacteria to take over your entire body, making even minor injuries potentially fatal. But what happens if those first responders never actually leave the building? This is the danger of chronic inflammation. It is a state where your immune system stays permanently activated, long after the original fire is gone. In our house metaphor, the firefighters stay in your kitchen for years. They leave the hoses running, flooding the floors, and they start chopping through the walls, slowly destroying the house they were supposed to protect. This happens because certain daily habits create constant chemical signals in your blood. These signals act like false alarms, keeping the siren ringing day after day. Smoking is a major trigger for these false alarms. So is a diet heavy in sugary, processed foods. Even the deep belly fat wrapping around your internal organs acts like an active tissue, pumping out distress signals, keeping your immune system on edge. There are invisible triggers too. Constant, high-level stress and chronic lack of sleep prevent your body from ever sounding the all-clear signal. These habits trick your body into thinking it is fighting a never-ending infection. It stays in a constant, low-level state of war against a threat that isn't actually there. Over time, our most powerful defense system gets stuck in a permanent state of emergency, eventually turning its weapons on our own healthy tissues. When this emergency state lasts for decades, the internal water damage begins to destroy your organs from the inside out. This diagram shows the cycle of long-term inflammation, or SCI. Looking at the left side, you can see how things like poor sleep and diet feed into the central gears. These gears churn out chemicals that scar the walls of your arteries, which is a major cause of heart attacks and strokes. If you follow the gears to the top right, you'll see how this affects your energy. This constant internal stress makes it harder for your cells to use sugar properly, leading to type 2 diabetes and other serious metabolic problems. Down at the bottom right, we see the impact on the brain. When these inflammatory chemicals reach your nervous system, they can damage the nerves we use to think and feel, contributing to dementia and long-term depression. To see the scale of this problem, look at this chart of global deaths. More than 50% of all deaths worldwide are now linked to these inflammation-related conditions. With half of all global deaths involving these conditions, this hidden internal damage is a massive factor in why our bodies break down and age. The good news is that you have the power to turn that alarm off and send those biological firefighters home. Scientists study blue zones, places where people frequently live to be 100 years old. These populations manage to avoid most of the chronic diseases we just discussed. Their secret isn't magic genetics. It's a daily lifestyle that keeps their internal fire alarms silent. They eat a diet rich in plants, beans, and whole grains, while avoiding the sugary, processed foods that irritate the body's systems. They also stay naturally active. When your muscles work, they actually release their own anti-inflammatory chemicals that help calm the immune system down. Finally, they prioritize rest. Getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep gives your body the window it needs to repair tissue and tell the immune system to stand down. By combining the right food, movement, and rest, you signal to your body that the emergency is over. The firefighters can finally go home, and your house can return to a state of peace.
Do you have any ideas for my next video? Just write them down in the comments below, and I will explain it in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.